Coach Pitso has won the CAF Champions League not once, not twice, thrice. So Pitso he's got all the credentials. He has raised the bar to lead us from where Ross left us. You know, he left us in a very good space. He's like a father figure. So, and for a team to be successful, there needs to be an understanding amongst us.
Sanibonani, dumelang absheni ndirienda. My name is Upapi and welcome back to HPNS, another exciting episode of HPNS. Bafethu, sibonge. Thank you for the support that you've shown. The subs ku YouTube, sibonge ne engagements lapha ku TikTok and as well as Facebook. Thank you and continue to support us. Namhlanje I'm with Grootman Ubongani Manelo. He's not a stranger like episode 8. He's been here with us. We've recorded with him before. Namhlanje, he's here. We're also going to talk about football. I'm just going to allow him to introduce himself to you so that in the mass which ubani umuntu onkhuluma ngayo inokushanga enye language kushanga enye language yakada, so it's him allowing him kind of space with it as introducer. Thanks Grootman no grand.
Top thokozile dog. Yeah, bonjour. Comment ça va?
Oye mawuthi bonjour mina vele.
Yeah, wena kumele ukuthi ça va.
Ça va.
Yeah, unjani? Are you okay?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. No, mele senza amaleseni for riding, ne?
Ngizokufaka.
Ungifake.
Yeah, ngizokufaka.
Mara athi difficult.
It's not difficult.
Yeah.
Sure, Pabs, I think let's just hit the ground running because akunasikhathi kumele ngisheshe.
Yeah,
nala kumele ngiyekhona.
Ngiyasibonga.
I think into engifuna siringe ngayo, the reason why I spoke to you, I think I was watching a World Cup, and I think for me it has been one of the most diverse World Cup ever. Because if you check, it gave countries like your smaller countries an opportunity, you know, to experience a World Cup. So I think for me, we had new national teams like Obo Curacao, Uzbekistan, Obo Jordan. So those countries, when if it wasn't for this new format to introduce new countries, so for me, I think it was a good idea, but also there have been complaints mostly. In fact, it was one of the biggest talking points. This current World Cup 2026, it has not been competitive as opposed to the previous ones, because some of the teams, I think they lack the quality. For an example, I'll give an example. There's a game that I watched, I think Germany versus Curacao. Curacao at some point, they were ranked 187. In Germany, they were ranked, I think, first in the world. So can you imagine the gap? Ranking.
It's big, yeah.
It's huge. It's huge. The score, if you remember that game, Germany scored 7 past Curacao. It's not only that game. Uzbekistan, if you look at their what do you call this, but their defensive record, out of 3 matches, they are conceding 11 goals. 11. And that does not happen in World Cup. It has never happened. Meaning, per game, they are conceding 3+ goals. So there are matches where they conceded 4 goals. But one other thing that I've picked up, is that some of the countries that were participating in World Cup, I think they face they face similar socio economic and political challenges back at home. Look at a country like Haiti. If you look at their political situation, there's gang violence, there's armed groups, there's poverty, there's hunger. Again, you come back to Africa, there's DRC Congo. There are problems. They are facing bigger challenges.
There's wars.
Currently, EDRC is a fully declared war zone.
Yeah,
and they're also dealing with humanitarian crises. There's civil unrest. There's abduction of women and children. So it's a lot of things, Papi. But also more in South Africa, coming back home, there's a lot of unemployment. We are dealing with moral crisis. We are dealing with overpopulation. We are dealing with
that time. Sorry to interject. That time, South Africa, this thing here is xenophobia. It was now big at that time. Big new.
That's why I'm mentioning these things, because I'm trying to link this thing with South Africans as xenophobic, but you look at South Africa on its own. We had to deal with those issues, but again, we've got a system where we've got corrupt criminal officials, public officials who are abusing power. The monies that are intended for community projects, these monies, Gulama Khotman, to them, it's another source of income or a profit. There's a sale of South African IDs. We watch YouTube, social media. South African IDs are for sale. Passports are for sale. Student visas are for sale. Fake foods are flooding the community. Expired foods are being sold by foreign nationals. So my hope when I was watching World Cup, I was just thinking to myself, I just hope with all the teams that I've mentioned or countries that I've mentioned, they might use this grand stage or opportunity, being part of the World Cup, to try and strengthen their governance and restore stability using the World Cup, because some of the countries among, they were not even part of the World Cup for ages.
Yeah.
So this was an opportunity to try and fix their governance, but also using football, because football it's a huge entity all over the world. So those are some of the things that I was like, okay, if this is happening, how can we use football to address these issues? And then I also picked up one thing, because most of the players, especially South African players, they come from a poverty background, most of them. And I just felt good. This is an opportunity to market themselves. Like, Orele has done well. He has done very well, because he knows good. They come from this difficult environment. And this is an opportunity to showcase your talent, to showcase your potential, but also to showcase your hunger, which you want to progress. You want to move from a domestic level football, to an international football. Because if we look at Amachita, I'm trying to mention also you and me, we come from an environment where our social conditions or our social pattern or social system is founded on oppression and inequality. So this tournament, it was huge for us as South Africans to progress. And also I would like to highlight the fact that I felt personally we should have progressed to the last 8. I felt in Canada, we tapped out mentally, psychologically, after the South Korea game. You know why I'm saying that, Pap?
Yeah.
I just felt good. Our mandate, it was already fulfilled. You remember? We must move from group stage, and there's no team that has moved to except Banyana.
Yeah.
I think
at that time it felt like we've already conquered by only making it out of the group stage to Zani top 32.
True, Papi. So
we could have done more.
No, we could have done more. We could have reached the last 8, because we played against Canada. Canada, their premier sporting code in Canada, it's ice hockey. They are currently ranked. They're not a football nation. They're currently ranked second to go ice hockey. They've been ranked number 1 for the longest of time. They are not a football nation. So we had no business. We had no right to lose against Canada. That's a big missed opportunity. We could have reached the last 8. So I was very sad, honestly. I was very sad. I just felt good. This is an opportunity for us to progress to the last 8. And then we could have, because this World Cup, it was too open.
Yeah, it was way too open.
Too open.
When you look at Cape Verde, I would have thought ukuthi Cape Verde would have made it
Yebo.
out of Tuzan
Yebo.
group stage.
True. So, but besides that, I mean, I just one of the things what I've learned during the World Cup, especially during the what do you call this, the group stage. You remember there were issues that we will never reach.
Yeah. Angisho bekuthiwa like we will be the first team, African team ezophuma relegate. Progress. Yeah.
Tell you what, one of the crucial lessons I've learned, Pap, it's we have to accept a failure. As football fans, we have to learn to accept a failure, but also importantly, we need to learn to give a support in good times and in bad times. But most importantly, we need to don't write yourself off. Don't write other people off. You know, practice good, actualize good for you and for yourself. You know, that's the lesson that I've learned, because I thought Mini Bafana Bafana, they won't progress from group stage. But when they reached that phase, I think for me personally, it was a milestone and a great achievement. I was so proud of the boys, and I have to give credit to Umadala, Hugo Bros. I'll give him credit for one thing. Good. When he came in, Upros, when he came in, I think performance management and accountability, and it was absent for many years. It was absent for many years. But when he came in, you could see Gutman, there's a direction. And one of the reasons why we were successful is that Upros, he's got a close connection with the players. He's like a father figure. So that's why in every successful team, whether the team la, njoba ngikhuluma nawe, obo cameraman and whoever, obo Donna, obo Ace, obo Rato Shabangu, njoba bala, we are a team, and for a team to be successful, there needs to be an understanding amongst us or amongst that group. So when I'm watching Bafana Bafana, that is led by Hugo Bros, I saw unity. I'm seeing camaraderie. I'm seeing strength. I'm seeing a faith between the coach and the players. But amongst the players themselves, there's that with guys, let's go in there and fight, you know. But to sum it up, it was never a bad World Cup for us. We've done well. You know, we have to congratulate ourselves and the boys. And now the person who needs to take over from Hugo Bros, the foundation has been laid. The foundation has been prepared. Whoever's going to get the job, I'm telling you now, but just build your team around Mbogazi, Ime Okon. Build your team around those two players. I'll tell you why. Defensively, if you look at the previous World Cup, we considered some of the softest goals. Even this World Cup, if you remember, there's a game that we played, Czechia. We considered from a throw-in, man. With Czechia, is it Czechia Republic? We considered from a standard situation, from a throw-in. And that's lack of communication between Mbogazi, Mudau, Ime, Opri. It was a lack of leadership. So for me, the reason why I'm mentioning the defensive part of things is that a lot of people think that defending is an inferior art. But defending, I'm telling you, Papi, from the grassroots level, Ekasi, Kuma LFA, right to the World Cup, defending is one of the most important details ever.
Yeah. Yazi ngiyalaga mokhuluma nge-defending because I know ukuthi boyi-defender.
Yeah.
And every time when I'm sitting with you like studio, vele uqala nge-defense.
I mean, I'm passionate about defending.
I remember the last time bokhuluma ngongezana nge-AFCON ukuthi they need to go from there. But yeah, otherwise, I think they did very well. Amachita and African teams, they did very well. It shows ukuthi man going forward kula manye ama World Cup nama inini. I mean, we can surely make it to lawo ma-stage buma top 4 buma top 8. I mean you look at Morocco, yabona Morocco iyakhona ukuthi ingenelele ifike bayaphakemisa iflag yase-Africa, even if bona bazitshela ukuthi they're not Africans, it's fine, you know, those are politics, yabo. But-ke before siphuma kuBafana Bafana, who would you like ukuthi kube yi-coach yaBafana Bafana?
It's obvious.
Coach?
Before the question, but it's obvious. Pitso has to take the job.
How is it obvious?
Pitso Mosimane has to take the job.
Why?
Because he has an unfinished business in Bafana Bafana. You remember he was part of Bafana Bafana, and I listened to one of his interviews some years ago. He said it there himself. Look, I've got an unfinished business with Bafana Bafana, and obviously he wants to take over. And one thing that I like about Pitso, he's got man management skills. He's got player management skills. So it's no longer about tactics. About Doran and Bolratov, they will tell you, football man is no longer about tactics. 70% of football match is human interaction. Yeah, it's human interaction. 30% then it's your tactics. Can we defend? Can we score? How do we get a goal? How do we create goal? But 70% him now njoba sikhuluma sodon wena pap, there must be an interaction mina now before anything else. So Pitso, he's got that. And secondly, if you win the CAF Champions League thrice, no one can ever take that away from you. Coach Pitso has won the CAF Champions League not once, not twice, thrice. He has overachieved. He has over-delivered. He has raised the bar. And me saying so, I feel good. Future coaches will be left with a legacy. Future players will be left with a legacy. Coach Pitso. And also, he has inspired a lot of coaches like South Africa. How many coaches do we have now who are getting coaching gigs in Africa? As we speak, how many?
Yeah.
It's because of him. He opened that Moranyana door. Pitso. Look, when he went to North Africa, Al Ahly. Remember, Al Ahly, that coaching seat, it's reserved for I would say it's reserved for white European coaches. That seat at Al Ahly is never meant for a black or a dark-skinned coach. But Pitso Mosimane went there and changed the narrative. He won there. Young tall. So for me, Coach Pitso, he deserved this gig, you know.
Okay.
And one thing about Coach Pitso, I think he's passionate about South African football. He's not only a football coach, he's an activist. If you listen to his interviews, he'll tell you, Atlas when you're supposed to be leading Kaizer Chiefs between that game, blah, blah, blah. Why didn't they sub him, Young tall? So he's always vouching for local talented coaches. So for me, I think based on his coaching track record, based on his history, based on his success, based on his achievement as a coach, and I think for me, he deserves to lead us, you know, to the next AFCON, to the next World Cup qualifier. Plus, the most important thing, he's got the persona. About Dona Nabo East, they will tell you.
Yeah.
Mongana personality. Mongana udona ngokumbona coach laphana eGotso ground mazeni intwana zakhe. Uphenduka intwana, like he's got personality. He wants his boys to do well. He wants them to succeed. It's not only about football. He tells them, "Good, hey baba, there's an opportunity for you to play. If you don't play, hamba ndotaphumela ngaphandle." So Pitso, he's got all the credentials. He's got all the positive qualities to lead us from where Upros left us. You know, he left us in a very good space. So Pitso needs to bring his own team, his own technical team, and then allow him to make his own decision who to select. Because Hugo Broos, the good thing about Hugo Broos, he gave local players an opportunity.
Yeah, uyamthanda uPitso. The way describing akhona sivale Grootman ngoba sisazoqhubeka sikhulume ngoPitso. I actually wanted to to start our conversation ngale with the passing yaka lentuzana ka Jaden Adams. Um, uh, on behalf of HPNS, we we would like to send our sincere condolences to the family and to the loved ones. Um, you didn't only lose Jaden, you lost a star, and it was only not your loss also. As a nation, Nati, we lost Ikrotman. Intwana Bonisa. I mean, he was a promising young player who would have probably in the next year or so because of that abroad. Yeah, so we also slahlekelwe nathi. Ikrotman.
Babzin, I think this is a very sensitive topic. This is a very sensitive subject for me, and I've never met Jaden Adams in person. And so, if I'm going to say something about Jaden, it has to be something very positive. Something very positive, because I knew him from afar, from a distance. I can comment ngumuntu engimaziyo, someone that I'm very close to. But Jaden, I didn't know him that very well. But from what I can gather, he's someone who was very, I think, in control, someone who was very reserved, someone who was very kind, I think someone who was very shy, someone who was very free-spirited, someone who was extremely talented. We don't have another player who possessed the same attributes as Jaden. We don't have. We just don't have now, because he's so calm on the ball. When he receives the ball, he knows what to do. He can scan left, right, and center. He is comfortable. He can give you a 10-meter pass. He can give you a 30, 40-meter pass. So he had all the attributes. So I think for me, it's a loss, Papi. Like, I'm not saying these things because we are on camera and I want to look as if I know. But to be honest, I saw him when we played the game, the third game. I think we played against South Korea. He was in charge. He was bossing the middle field. He was running the show. And then we go to play Canada. He's not part of the first 11. I am thinking to myself, look, Coach Loyagola, you can't replace that guy because he is the one who kept us in the game. If I was a coach that game, I would let sub Umukwena, no, this other guy, one, Ustole. The first 10 minutes, I sub them. I take them off, not because they are bad players. And then I bring Jaden, I bring Umbata. Done. But coming back to Jaden, I think, Papi Foot, a lot of players, they are struggling with inner difficulties as opposed to external challenges, like can you receive the ball, can you pass? I think players, most of them, I'll include myself because I'm a footballer. I think you look at the players, some they are battling. Maybe it has to do with the lack of motivation, lack of aspiration, lack of faith, lack of self-belief. So the other day I was just thinking to myself, oh good, when we profile footballers now, I think my view as Manelo, I think when you profile footballers now, it has to be a record of the player's interest, players' aspiration, players' talents, players' potential, their problems, personal problems, their difficulties. But most important thing, when you profile players, let's look at their emotional habits or emotional patterns. So that's why I'm saying with football is moving from a direction where 70% we are dealing with a human being. You're not dealing with a footballer. So in case Jaden Adams, not an I1, but other players, I think it's about time that the recruitment department, the scouting department, the technical team, the coaches, we need to make use of, we need to introduce psychological education, because most of the players, for an example, I'll give an example, the sale of alcohol, it's a weapon formed against black people. Black people were not meant to drink alcohol because it was never created for the benefit of our people, but it was created to our own destruction. I'm giving you an example. In a family where there is an alcoholic father, the male children is at a greater risk to develop alcoholism and end up being chronic alcoholic. So we need to introduce the psychologist, let them be part of a technical team. It is very key. It is very crucial. We are losing ourselves because we don't have father figures.
Okay, asivale Grootman lapho. Before sizoyivala, masizoyivala. Asikhulume ngeWAFCON kancane. I haven't watched game A1 yabanyana banyana, but they playing. Like kuthulekile kwenzakalani? Why?
No. I think women, Ane, we need to treat women in general, not based on their sporting codes, but we need to give women or ladies, for an example, when they are doing a specific job, it has to be an equal pay, equal work with the male gender. But now the issue is one, ladies football, for an example, it's not getting the same attention as men's or gents football.
Why?
It's biasness. There's no other way. We don't treat women's football as an important aspect in terms of our sporting development in the country. You know, for an example, Banyana, they were the first team to progress from the group stages, World Cup, and I think they had teams like both Sweden, Italy was there as well, but they progressed from group stage to the last 16. But nothing has been said. You know, they didn't get the same recognition, the same attention as Bafana they are getting. So it's unfair, to be honest. It's quiet. Banyana are playing, but we don't see ad. We don't see the PR and the marketing department doing all they can to expose Banyana. We look at the coach. There is Desri. Oh, currently, he is the best. Is one of the best coaches in South Africa. If we look at her accolades and what he has achieved with the Banyana, but because we've got this mindset with ladies football, it's not on par with Amachimbos. So it has nothing to do with talent. No. I think it's stereotype. You know, we just need to change that mindset and ensure that Banyana they get the same recognition that they honestly deserve.
Yeah. Isizini yaqala manje. Chiefs beyiphumile yozprepara, Pirates beyiphumile yozprepara, Sundowns we know they're always outstanding. I heard ukuthi AmaZulu na ngathi yes, how do you see iligi mayizovula manje?
I think Mamelodi Sundowns, let's be fair, they've outgrown PSL. They have no competition. Let's be honest. They've outgrown PSL. I mean, they've won the PSL for the 8 consecutive times. You know, so that it tells you they don't have competition. And one of the reasons why they don't have competition, it's because there's this thing of selling and buying of football teams. It's one of the main issues because the teams that are coming through to our league, they are not in the same. They are not the same quality. You know, they are not the same PSL material. So that's why when it comes to our league, we know very well good for the first 5 games, Sundowns, they are bound to have 15 points. They are bound to have 15 points. But again, you have to give credit to Orlando Pirates because Orlando Pirates, they've been finishing second for the 3rd or 4th season in a row. So it tells you that Orlando Pirates, they're a team that they know what they are doing. For an example, you look at their academy, they are promoting a lot of young kids, you know. So meaning those players, they've got immediate access to first team football. So when they get promoted, immediately they are exposed to first team football. So you have to give credit to. I'm not an Orlando Pirates supporter, but I'll tell you one thing. You can see what they are trying to do. They are a selling club indirectly. They groom players and then they sell them. But what they are doing well is that they're able to strengthen their backroom staff. If you remember, they had 2 guys from Stellenbosch, I think O'Brien and the other guy from Stellenbosch. They are part of Orlando Pirates team. So they've got a strong backroom staff. So hence they've been successful. And they deserve to win the league, Orlando Pirates, because they've been knocking on the door. And they kept us ensuring we watch PSL football. Okay, let's minus Orlando Pirates. I call PSL. We've got 14 teams. Are we good? We wouldn't watch PSL because we will know good Sundowns will win the league. They will win the league maybe 7 or 10 games to go because they don't have competition. Chiefs, they don't want to come to the party. Kaizer Chiefs, they've become a commercial institution. Their focus now, it's more on, you remember when commercialization was introduced, Kaizer Chiefs ran with it. So I think for me, it's a team that they need to bring in. It has nothing to do with coaches. They need to go back to Ekas. There's no player from Pefeni, number 1, or Itubi. You know, so Sundowns, I just feel good they'll still dominate the league because other teams, they are, it's like it's 15 inferior teams versus a single superior team that is Sundowns. So for me, if it was the strongest, Papi, we should be reaching a World Cup maybe last 8. So we rely on Sundowns because they're exposed to continental football. Can you imagine if we had Chiefs playing the continental football season in, season out? Pirates playing the continental football season in, season out. Like if we look at teams or national teams that do well, for example, when they won the Euros in 2004, they had 3 teams that the Panathinaikos, AEK, Athens, you know, I forgot the 3rd team. Those teams, every year, every season, they are part of the Champions League. Hence, Greece in 2004, they were able to beat teams like Portugal, finally beat teams like France, because the core of the team, they were exposed to Champions League football. So, Tina, we rely on Mamelodi Sundowns. Hence, we struggled with Tabo Mudau, Nobo Opri, Nobo Tebo Khomukon. You can't really blame them. They have played too many games. But Sundowns, you play plus minus 50 to 60 games.
Yeah.
When the league starts, as we must mind, Sundowns, they've got 3 competition. UPL. There's a league, there's a preliminary CAF round 2025, 2026. And they have to deal with the MTN 8. So they are dealing with 3 competition as we speak now. And remember, the previous season, Mamelodi Sundowns is the only team that didn't have a preseason. Because why? They were playing a FIFA Club World Cup.
Yeah.
But still, to show good, there's a gap in our league. They were competing for the league, but they didn't have a preseason. And remember, without preseason is your foundation for the entire season. It gives you the idea, Yoguti, by this first 5 games, these are my short-term goals. By December, those are my December break or Christmas break targets, and they've got their own targets around April. Normally, sometimes around April, you can tell what the league is gone. They are focusing with CAF final or semi-final or whatever.
Yeah. Rotman, sesivala ne. What sort of advice can you give intwana sekase efuna ukuzibona ifana no Lebogang Mofokeng? Just in short nje.
Ureli.
In short nje intwana sekase nje edlala idisk ekase.
Avoid hookah pipe, avoid alcohol, find time to read, improve yourself. It's not only about food. Life is not only about football. You know, there are other avenues that you can try, but most importantly, just have values, be very respectful, pray, but most important thing, life is hard. So if soft, you won't make it.
Exactly.
So you have to fight. Now, sometimes it's not easy. Like just to have this conversation. Someone I don't think it's not. But you like Manelo, force yourself. Like try to read. So I try to read books so I can improve my grammar, improve my vocab. I try to read for this conversation. So what I'm trying to say is that Intwana Sekas, it can't be football appeal. It has to be about self-improvement, self-development, young tall. So focus on yourself when as an individual. Find time, deal with you before you deal with your external you.
Yeah.
No,
ngiyabonga Grootman man ukuthi ushayile around. I don't take that for granted. I really appreciate it. Bafethu HPNS siyabonga. Thank you for the support. Keep subscribing, keep watching. Until next time, thanks.